Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. T-minus 1 day until Friday. Thank you very much. I guess the big news today is that Nancy Pelosi is retiring from Congress. She is asking that in lieu of donations to her and her husband, you give them to your local Flying Monkey Rescue Program.
Chatted with President Trump about this breaking news that Nancy Pelosi will be leaving Washington. He tells me the following, and this is a quote. The retirement of Nancy Pelosi is a great thing for America. She was evil, corrupt, and only focused on bad things for our country. Yeah. She was rapidly losing control of her party, and it was never coming back.
What?
I'm very honored. She impeached me twice and failed miserably twice. Did, yeah. Nancy Pelosi is a highly overrated politician. And so that is the first word, but definitely not the last word from President Trump about this, because about 90 minutes from right now, we do expect to see him in the Oval Office. The two of them, of course, throughout his entire first term, had historic battles, whether it was over funding, whether it was over his impeachment. The two of them did not get along at all, but like many historians.
Yeah, and by the way, she can retire to being a hag, a happy American grandma. That's what Nancy Pelosi is. She's a hag, happy American grandma. Here's a musical tribute from Jim Gossett to San Fran Nan, the Rob Carson Show.
She isn't running, and we're so grateful.
What's she worth now? 200 million, 400 million, something?
That woman was oh so hateful.
Wow, she must be able to save money or something. I don't know.
She's a national disgrace. That's Nancy.
Nancy.
With a Botox face.
Yeah. She always looks surprised.
Her star was rapidly fading. She's as corrupt as can be.
Man, these standards are beautiful, aren't they?
She made millions from insider trading.
Oh, her husband got hammered. What?
Where is the SEC? Nancy Pelosi was a lousy speaker. She tried to make our country weaker. I'm glad they will replace Miss Nancy.
Will not be missed.
Botox face.
Remember when she tore up the State of the Union address just to be that kind of person. Just not a very nice person. One of the people who have been waging a war against Donald Trump and us for a very long time. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you on your wrinkly old rear end on the way out there. San Fran Nan, you've done nothing to make the country better. And in fact, everything is still broken. Everything is just like Joe Biden when he started 50 years ago. The same stuff's still broken. Medicare is still broken, and the Social Security is bankrupt, and the infrastructure is broken. But you guys made a lot of money. Joe Biden made like $25 million just from the Chinese communists, and Nancy Pelosi is famous for her amazing ability to trade stocks on companies that are being considered for different kinds of regulation. It's weird how that happens. Some people call that insider trading or something, but I certainly wouldn't do that. I would not. No, I would not do that. So, been thinking about this a little bit. All of a sudden on Tuesday this week, there was a terrible election for Republicans. It was the worst thing ever. And clearly it was a referendum on Donald Trump. It was a referendum on Donald Trump. Everything that Donald Trump is doing is failing and is terrible and awful, and the economy and all of that. It's really weird. It is really weird because just last week, the opposite was true. Here's Harry Inton. Last week, the economy is so good that it's not even on people's radar anymore. Just last week.
Well, Matt was mentioning about the econ playing such an important role in last year's presidential election. The top problem facing the U.S. is economic per Gallup. Yeah. Last year, look at this, 43% at this time, 43% of Americans said the top problem was economic.
Yeah, because the economy under Joe Biden was really crappy.
Come to this side of the screen. Yeah. It's just considerably different. We're talking about 24%. We're talking about a drop of near 20 points. And more than that, we're talking about across all of the different political groups, right? What? Democrats, independents, Republicans. We see that the percentage who say the top problem is economic has been falling.
Well, how did it go to the number one this week from last week, and the government was still shut down last week and everything? That's kind of weird, isn't it? And then there's this from October 16th, Harry Inton doing a little poll on Democrats' chances of taking the House back plummeting.
Okay, so if you go back 6 months ago, you go back to April, Kate Baldwin, what were we looking at? Well, we were looking at the Democrats with a very clear shot of taking control of the U.S. House of Representatives, according to the Kalshi prediction market odds. We saw them in an 83% chance. But those odds have gone plummeting down. Now we're talking about just a
Well, that is crazy how that happened, and I guess everything changed on Tuesday because of the blue state elections that were going on. I don't like to call them blue states because, Democrats are red because communists are red. Here's Greg Gutfeld with his take.
2 points that Jessica made are actually the two lower thirds here. Socialist takeover of the party. Yes. Democrats sweep blue states. Yes. What's the story of the two? Mm-hmm. Obviously, the socialist takeover, because Democrats sweep blue states. How is that a surprise? Yeah. They're blue states.
Yeah. Virginia literally has a Republican governor.
I'm talking about overall.
Has a rhino governor, and he chose the candidate, Winsome Sears, who was an anti-Trumper and one of the last dying bastions of the Bush era.
Virginia is largely blue. New Jersey, New York, obviously.
New Jersey had 500,000 more voters this year. Isn't that weird? After so many people have left the state, it's kind of weird how that happens, right?
Republicans could.
I guess maybe because the border's been open the last 4 years.
Could have done a better job. They could have showed up. But I'm not surprised by it. What I am interested in is that 93% of the vote in New York went Democrat. 93%. Well, that is a one-party monopoly.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's a choice, therefore, between the left and the looniest of left.
Pretty much,
because there's no legitimate...
I hate to tell you this. Nothing has changed since last week. The Democrats now just have something to hang their hats on, which was a Virginia election that didn't go as we planned, and there's a lot of reasons behind that. Scott Pressler is out in the state canvassing because there are some places you couldn't vote, apparently. I'm just saying, I'm just thinking out loud here. But it's amazing. Last week, the Democrat Party, the economy wasn't even on the radar, and then the week before that, the Democrats' chances of taking the House had plummeted. Donald Trump's policies are rocking around the world. People love what he's doing. There's all sorts of investment coming out. And then all of a sudden this week, oh my God, where did the story about the destruction of the White House go? It was almost like they had something to hang their hat on 2 weeks ago, which was Donald Trump destroying history. I mean, you'd think if it was so damned important that they'd still be out there. They'd be laying down in front of the road graders and stuff because they wouldn't want that history to be destroyed. But it's like it almost disappeared because it had lost its usefulness and they moved on to something else. It's kind of weird. And then 2 weeks ago, they had a No Kings protest, and they found out that 70 different organizations and like $70 million had been spent because it wasn't organic at all and it didn't really take. So that kind of went away. And then a few months ago, everybody thought that Elon Musk was a Nazi. It's kind of weird how that kind of stuff happens, isn't it? Isn't it? As Donald Trump is doing really well and a lot of great things are happening in the country. And there's no doubt about it, by the way. There's no doubt about it. And what we got to do is figure out how we are going to put the message across in the absence of any positive press, even with good things. Because every week the Democrat Party looks for another thing that is supposedly Signalgate. Signalgate's going to end everything. My God, Pete Hegseth is going to be driven out. Oh, it's over. Donald Trump is destroying history, tearing the house. Oh, we had an election on Tuesday, and it was in Democrat states, and Democrats won. The Trump agenda is failing. It is absolutely. Oh my God, it's absolutely failing. Really. I'm not buying it, by the way. I'm not buying it. This is Victor David Hanson. And listen, I can understand the pivot toward the economy, yes, but as far as an overreaction to Tuesday, I'm not going to overreact to it on Tuesday. Everybody thought Zoran Mamdani was going to win. There's weird stuff going on. It's weird. It is just so weird. Mikey Sherrill, the mediocre candidate who ran a mediocre campaign, received the most votes of any gubernatorial candidate in New Jersey history. 1.8 million, 450,000 more than the awful Governor Murphy. It's kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. But I'm sure everything is on the up and up in New Jersey with all of the illegals that have been coming in the last 4 years. I'm sure everything is perfectly fine. But here is VDH talking about the pivot to the economy.
You know, the Democratic Party is not a Democratic Party. It's a socialist party. And they think they're going to do negative advertising.
Yeah, the Democrats weren't popular. They had the lowest approval ratings they've ever had, 57% negative last week. Do you think pivoting into communism is going to make that number go up? If you do, you're high.
Against it. So when you say that Mamdani wants to seize the means of production, or the Attorney General candidate in Virginia wants the death of an opponent, or the main candidate in the primary has a tattoo from the 3rd SS Panzer Division.
Nice people.
They say, so what? They're not going to
Democrats pretty evil right now. They're pretty evil.
Apologize. That has no effect on them at all.
No, not right.
So, and they have no agenda.
You think that's making them popular in flyover country? I don't think so.
So their agenda is chaos strategy. All they want to do.
Yeah, it hasn't changed, by the way.
Is attack ICE, call Trump a Hitler, create a general sense of unrest, firebomb Tesla. One day,
that hasn't changed, by the way.
It's they want to kill somebody. The next day, they want to drop an F-bomb. And then we, the American people, want to go into a fetal position, put our hands over.
I'm not doing that, actually.
Over our ears and say, make it go away. And because Trump is in charge, it must be his fault. And they have to address that, the Republicans. And they're going to have to say, this is what the inflation rate was. It averaged 5%. We're getting...
And we are doing that. And I don't think that we need to overreact to what happened on Tuesday and freak the hell out and question. Yeah, I'll tell you, there are 80-plus million people, you and me, who went through hell the last 10 years, not only on our own, being censored, the economy of Joe Biden, which was in the crapper, groceries going up 50%, cars, houses doubling in price, cars going up 50% minimum, okay? We suffered that. We haven't forgotten it. And by the way, you also called our opinions disinformation and misinformation. If you think we are going to leave this president because of a blue state, whatever the hell happened on Tuesday, you're out of your nut. Back to where we were last week. That's where it is. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
She isn't running, and we're so grateful. That woman was oh so hateful. She's a national disgrace. That's Nancy with a Botox face. Her star was rapidly fading. She's as corrupt as can be. She made millions from insider trading. Where is the SEC? Nancy Pelosi was a lousy speaker. She tried to make our country weaker. I'm glad they will replace Miss Nancy with a Botox face.
It sucks to be you. You Democrats, you. Inflation is down. Schumer's a clown. He'll get his due. No Kings was a flop, but you will not stop. I'll bring the world peace. More wars I will cease. We'll come out on top. Drug boats we took out. We ended all doubt. The border is closed. Letitia is hosed while Democrats pout. The new ballroom will be complete while Democrats will suffer defeat. It sucks to be you, miserable you. It sucks to be you.
Now a new NBC News poll shows the Democratic Party has reached an all-time low in popularity.
Why and all you want about the National Guard? Antifa pals, we will bombard. It sucks to be you. You know that it's true. It sucks to be you.
Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
We know big government does not have all the answers. We know there's not a program for every problem.
We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
Well, what the hell problems that government solved? Honestly, what is government made better? What department run better by the government than another department? Are you out of your nut? Are you out of your friggin' mind? This is what happens to useful idiots when they get used to elect radical Islamists. And by the way, I was proven right. I'm going to share with you very shortly on the show. Zohran Mamdani used the left to get elected. That's why he pivoted during his his speech the other night and became very vitriolic and all that, because he won, you see. And now we can disregard all that niceness and all that fake smile and bull crap. And New York is some serious crap right now. And if I was Jewish, I'd be very concerned. But I think that Donald Trump is going to handle him in the way that he should be handled. If he's going to give us a little bit too much crap, going to take a lot of money from New York City, and if necessary, send in federal forces to go kick out illegals and whatnot. Because he talked a really big game in front of a fluffed crowd the other night, which is what he always does. He's a little meow meow. He's a little soy boy. Although it may be goat milk. I don't know what they drink in, Mamdani, where he's from. But anyway, he always talks a big game in front of a fluffed crowd, kind of like Jimmy Kimmel. But here he is today begging for money. He's got the transition team. They're a bunch of women. Whatever, I don't care if they're women. But they were chosen because they're women. I'm not sure if they have penises because, they're Democrats. But he's all of a sudden begging for money. He's begging for money. I thought everything was going to be free. Why can't you get those people to work for free?
Thank you for the question. It's transition2025.com. And, there were a few months ago where I told supporters across the city to stop donating.
Yeah.
And today I am asking them to start once again.
But just have everybody work for free, man.
I am asking them to
give them free childcare or groceries or something.
Do so because of the fact that a transition that can meet the moment.
You got to pay them $30 an hour minimum
of preparing for January 1st is one that will require staff, it will require research, it will require infrastructure. And those are things that we will...
Wow, it didn't take very long, did it? Begging for money already. I know. It's so ridiculous. You guys got so suckered, you morons. You useful idiots. If you just want to crack the history book and maybe had some common sense, you'd know that you've elected a radical Islamist. Did you see all the Islamists out there doing their little call to prayer and they're kneeling in the middle of Times Square? That's a pretty picture. And isn't that what you want? That's Islamophobic. No, it's not. I remember 9/11. Give me a friggin' break. I know what radical Islam is all about. And I know that big prayer session was meant to send a signal. We're not stupid, for God's sake. This is why I came up with the expression homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews, because sooner or later some homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews are going to have to go in there and confront these people. And end this nonsense, to be quite honest. That's just violent. No, it's not. Radical Islam has been performing acts of violence on the world for the last 50 years. And everybody knows what this election in New York City was all about. Let's talk about the great economy, because, Donald Trump feels like he needs to pivot to the economy because the left had a little victory, I guess, on Tuesday, which changed everything that was positive a week before when everybody said that the economy was way down on their list because the economy is doing so well. But the Democrats have managed to convince people, oh, no, it really sucks. Not so much.
Wages for workers are rising at the fastest pace in over 60 years. Those are workers, and that's what we love. We love the workers. Since I took office, wages for the typical factory worker are up $1,300.
Wow.
Construction workers' pay is up $2,200.
Wow.
And miners are up nearly $5,000 this year alone.
I know. And then there's all those jobs, drilling, baby drilling, and there's going to be all those mining jobs and whatnot. And it's pretty amazing. Yeah, the working man's making a little bit more money than they did with Joe Biden when they were working with 3 jobs to keep things covered. And people were coming back from retirement and working themselves to death. I know this. I saw at least 3 of them work themselves to death at the local grocery store, 75, 80-year-old women coming out of retirement because they couldn't pay the bills. Oh, and then there's some other good things. Donald Trump has also gotten a lot of people off SNAP benefits, gotten them all self-reliant and everything.
In 9 months, we've lifted over 600,000 Americans off of food stamps, which is a record.
I know.
1.9 million more American-born workers are employed today. Think of that. Almost 2 million American-born workers are employed today.
That's weird because all Joe Biden's employees, the new ones, they were government workers or foreign workers.
More than when I took office. That's
true.
9 months ago.
Fact check me. I don't care.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And I tell Republicans, if you want to win elections, you got to talk about these facts, It's really easy to win elections when you talk about the facts.
Yeah, because the Democrat Party's doing everything they can to distract and lie about stuff. And then, of course, there's this. This is what they're really mad about.
And to curb inflation, we've slashed the size of government for the first time in years, and we're waging total war on waste, fraud, and abuse.
There you go.
Like we've never done before since January.
I could see where people who didn't come back 94% of the time after COVID in the Washington, D.C. area would be mad that their jobs are being cut. I could see that.
100,000 bureaucrats have left the federal payroll.
Oh.
Government spending is down 2.5% this quarter.
There you go.
Compared to 1 year ago. Think of that.
Mm-hmm.
And in stark contrast to last administration, 100% of all new jobs created in America under my administration have been created in the private sector.
Well, isn't that amazing? Joe Biden, most of his were foreign-born and government workers. And everybody in D.C. proper are upset because they had to come back to work, and B, some of their jobs weren't necessary. It kind of sucks. That's kind of how it's been in flyover country for a while, because I live there. Anyway, we've got Michael Charbon going to be joining us. He is, of course, the host of the Charbon Report. He's from Canada, for goodness sake. It's becoming more and more obvious that Donald Trump is going to have to, and Republican Congress are going to have to nuke the filibuster because the Democrats thought that people suffering worked so well on Tuesday. They want to keep it going because they're evil. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code Newsmax, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. That's shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Again, use the code Newsmax at checkout. That's beam.com/Newsmax and use code word Newsmax for up to 40% off.
We're sinking vessels, one's loaded with drugs. Mow the boat down with U.S. airstrikes to target the thugs. We think's it's time to mow the boats down. Narco-terrorism we won't tolerate. Mow those boats down. Stop your drug traffic before it's too late. Otherwise, we'll mow your boat down. Shape up Venezuela or we might attack. Maduro, we will take down. Drug boats you're sending will never come back. We'll sink them all and watch the men drown. We know who you are, we'll mow your boat down. Won't get very far, we'll mow the boat down. Danger to New York, Mamdani's trouble, taxes under him are bound to double. He'll destroy New York before his term is through. Private ownership, he wants to end it, every cent you earn. He wants to spend it. Government-run stores is something he'll pursue. Danger to New York. That is Mamdani. He's a danger to New York. And from the moment that they put this clown in charge, the damage will be large. You can kiss New York away if he wins on election day. Hope folks will wake up, make a deduction. Voting for Saran will cause destruction. He is such a dork. This danger to New York.
Yep.
Oh, beauty, go.
Come on.
Take off to the great white north.
Take off. It's a beauty way to go.
Take off to the great white north.
This, of course, this music only means one thing, and that is Michael Charbon. Michael Charbon is joining us live from Canada, our official Canadian representative. The only one, actually, but you are official. Michael Charbon, how are you doing today, my friend?
The amazing Rob Carson, to be with you is a pleasure and an honor.
Yes, yes. So, a couple of things going on with Canada. Your prime minister apologized to Donald Trump for using an ad with Ronald Reagan's voice in it. He used Ronald Reagan's voice in AI. Kind of ruffled Donald Trump's feathers, and I think the premier kind of realized, oops. Any thoughts on that?
Well, you want to know what? Our Ontario premier, Doug Ford, did a Trumpist thing.
What?
Because he showed the ad to Carney. Carney didn't particularly like it, but the Ontario premier, you know, Ontario is the engine of Canada.
Yes.
He put it on. And then when it was told, oh, we got to take it off, he says, no, we're playing it Sunday and taking it off Monday.
Wow.
Our premier, Rob Ford, is of the same ilk as Mr. Trump. Donald Trump is doing a great thing for America, but not necessarily in the court of Canada. And, yes, Mr. Carney had to eat a little bit of Canadian crow.
Did he?
But needless to say, America saw our message.
Yes, yes. Also, I just saw this headline in Al Jazeera, of all places. Carney's first budget falls short on promise to transform Canadian economy. Is that a big surprise?
No, he just added $141 million, $1 billion.
Yes.
Take that again.
Nice.
$1 billion in new spending. We're already in the ditch this year by $42 billion over our budget, and Canadians are in debt $2.1 trillion. Why wouldn't you spend more money? I mean, here's a great thing.
What?
You remember our former Prime Minister, Justin Mamdani Perry Trudeau?
Yes.
Yeah, it only took 10 years of this experiment to deal with socialism, you know, runaway crime, catch and release, drug injection sites, ballooning government. Well, we don't need to learn from this. Of course not.
Well,
we're liberals up here.
Well, and you know, the problem, like with Zoran Mandami, is he's got a lot of useful idiots, as Lenin used to call them, the idiots on the left, and it appears they fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I had said last week that he was more an Islamist than a socialist, and otherwise you would not have these radical imams glad-handing him if he's so, you know, down with the LGBTQRSTUV movement. But they're going to bet down on what Canada has seen fail, and it looks like now is continuing to fail. If you could offer America any advice and tell us exactly what happened to Canada doing this nonsense like we don't already know.
Well, you know what? Just think, 66% of neurodivergent youth voted for this 34-year-old Democratic socialist. And he's making claims that it's free everything. I mean, Rob, you should have free rent. You should eat for free. You should take a bus for free. You should have your clothes for free. You should go to everything should be free. And the people who should pay for it is the rich. Because, you know, like communism, the rich are everywhere.
Yes.
Until, of course, they leave to Boca Raton and never come back.
Yes.
And then your tax facings. And then, well, I think it was something I read this morning. When they make buses for free, it's going to be really interesting to have an open, feces-smelling, rolling toilet because nobody has to pay for anything. They can sit on it for free. I really want to fly to New York and check that out.
I really do, and I can't wait for it to. It can't fall fast enough. Of course, he named his diverse cabinet of all women yesterday.
Now, don't laugh at that. Women are much better at finances than men are.
Oh.
We need a woman's touch. But just wait. Wait, Rob, think about this. There's going to be an airport tax, an Uber tax, a hotel tax.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Kill New York tax. Who's going to want to go to New York?
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck is going on? And you know what I blame it on is our education system. This was brought up before because colleges, universities, and high schools don't teach what all these immigrants have come here to the North American democracy who said communism doesn't work. That message has not been taught. And thank goodness for the new resurgence now that's happening with the Turning Point America. At least we can see that there's some youth that can see clearly moving forward.
Yeah, we had a lot of there were a lot of rigmarole with regard to the Tuesday election. Now it's weird because literally last week, the economy as a concern for Americans, both Democrat and Republican, had dropped from a 40% saying it was the number one, issue in America to 20%. Democrats' chances of winning the midterms plummeted just the week before. Tuesday rolls around, and all of a sudden, Donald Trump is failing. The economy is terrible. I don't buy any of it. I think there are a lot of issues going on. They were blue states. Virginia, we had a terrible gubernatorial candidate, a Republican governor in name only, among other things. And then in New Jersey, a lot of people have left New Jersey to go to places like Texas. And oddly enough, there were 500,000 more voters in New Jersey to vote for Democrats this year. 450,000 more voted for the Democrat candidate than they did the previous Democrat candidate. Isn't that, it's like maybe almost there were a lot of people who brought in to the country to vote for Democrats. It's kind of that.
Well, thank goodness you don't have to show voter ID. Far be it to be able to substantiate your American citizenship to exercise the most privileged thing in the democracy of the world. But Rob, everything's going to work out. Blue states vote for blue people. Let us hope, if you look at the dots on America, where blue exists and where red exists, the bookend Democrats are the ones that are going to be in debt, and they're going to be asking the rest of America to bail them out. Because everything that Donald Trump has created in this first year of his administration will all come to roost in the next 6 months.
Yeah, of course.
All those car plants, all those jobs, everything, Rob, is going to come to roost. And then what are they going to say? What are they going to complain about other than Nancy Pelosi?
Well, hey, listen, last week Donald Trump was destroying history. It was the worst thing in the world, the White House. Why aren't they laying down in front of bulldozers this week? Maybe it didn't gain any traction, so they had to move on. The week before that, it was no Kings protest. No Kings. Everybody wants Donald Trump out of office. That didn't gain any traction because it was bought and paid for. They're going to come up with something new, Michael. But the fact of the matter is Donald Trump's doing a great job. He's brought $18 trillion of new investment into the country. The factories are going to be built. He's already blue-collar wages are up. Mining jobs, people making $5,000 more a year. Egg prices down 183%. Inflation flatline. And they're going to come up with another distraction, and we can't be distracted from it. One other question. Next year, what's going to happen to Carney? Isn't he going to be able to run next year? And do you suppose with Carney, the wheels falling off his clown car already, that Polyev has a better chance?
He just floated a budget yesterday, and he has a minority government. The Liberals have a minority government in Canada. If he doesn't have the rest of the government to vote for it, we may have another election. Good. At this point, he does not have the support to float his budget. Good. If he doesn't get acknowledgement, Canada will go to a federal election yet once again. That's
good. Well, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for joining me today. Michael Charbon, where can people find your glorious work, including on Newsmax?
Newsmax every Sunday. I'm on the John Glasgow program at about 11:30. I'm at michaelacharbon.com and the charbonreport.com. Thank you very much, Rob Carson. Love you and your viewers.
God bless you, brother. We'll talk soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Based on what you said this morning.
Oh, that isn't very loud.
Really think the
I had a little soundbite from Brad Barry did an interview last night with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said that he's up for the filibuster. And I got to tell you, the Democrat Party has been at war with us for a very long time. Right now, they are making people suffer intentionally. They don't care, and it worked so well, or they think it worked so well on Tuesday. They want to keep it going. They don't care. They don't care if you're missing your paychecks. Dear God, I know what it's like to be without a paycheck. I went a year and a half without a paycheck. I had to do everything I could to try to make ends meet, even selling my dad's retirement ring and my high school class ring and asking for money from a charity that I used to support. I know what it's like. It sucks. It really sucks. And that the Democrat Party, who, by the way, the people in Congress, Democrats want their pay to continue. Their pay is still continuing. I guess John Kennedy's, put forth a bill where Congress would not be paid, and they shouldn't be paid while everybody else is not being paid. But they love the suffering so much. It's working so well. They want to keep it going. It is utterly, utterly ridiculous. Josh Hawley says, I think he's going to be down with the filibuster.
Senator, you did signal today that you would be open to the idea of doing what President Trump has asked, and that is doing away with the filibuster. Well, obviously, that would be...
We will not get anything accomplished in the next 3 years and a couple of months unless they blow up the filibuster. The Democrat Party is going to do everything they can to C-block Donald Trump's presidency. They were able to do it last time with Russian disinformation, Russia collusion, in impeachment, COVID, burning and sacking the country in 2020. They will do anything. They've already done everything. While he was trying to run, they brought up political indictments that were made up of whole cloth. They weaponized the DOJ, tried to put him in jail, tried to take him down the ballot, tried to kill him. Do you suppose they're going to be able to get anything done unless they blow up this filibuster? Well, hell no.
Contagious right now to reopen the government. Any concerns at all about what that could look like in the future when Democrats have control of the Senate?
Well, I will just say this. Every day that the Democrats force the shutdown to go on, every day that they deny payment to our great federal law enforcement, every day that they hold hostage needy families, the president's arguments about the filibuster get a lot more attractive. And I think what he's saying makes a lot of sense, which is that the Senate needs to work. It needs to produce. Congress needs to produce. And if the Democrats are just...
And this is the only way we're going to be able to get anything done the next 3 years.
If this is going to be the new norm, Will, if they're just going to hold us hostage constantly for the next 3 years, we cannot allow that to happen. So I would just send the message to the Democrats out there, if you don't want that to happen, if you don't want the filibuster to be changed, then come to the table and start getting reasonable.
Couldn't you argue, Senator, they do want that? In fact, they do want to do away with the filibuster, and they could be baiting Republicans into doing just that, doing away with the filibuster.
Oh, they don't want it changed now, Will, but I think they do want the government shut down, and I think they'll do anything they can to derail.
Absolutely, 100%. They don't care how much people suffered. You know why I know this? Because they didn't care the last 4 years when they opened the southern frickin' border and destroyed lives And hundreds of thousands of kids died of fentanyl overdoses. And hundreds of thousands of children were trafficked for sex and labor. And hundreds of thousands of women were trafficked for sex. My God, thousands of people died on the Trail of Tears from the Darien Gap to here. The buzzards feasted. They were so fat they could barely fly. The Democrat Party could give a rat's behind. They shut down your churches. They shut down your restaurants during COVID while they dined out. And they went to hair salons like Nancy Pelosi. They don't give a rat's behind. You get a pittance at their behest. That's it. That's how they play. This is Senator Roger Marshall from my previous state of Kansas talking about the nuking the filibuster. He's not down with it yet.
But if they're not willing to open the government now, they're certainly not going to be willing to do any of the other things we want to do, like end Obamacare and replace it with something that actually works. We can't even do a farm bill with them as well. President Trump makes some really, really good points that if we broke the filibuster, if we got rid of that right now, we could secure our elections forever. We could.
And we need to do that.
Outlaw mail-in ballots. We could.
Then Democrats will have to be common sense Democrats rather than all this nonsense bullcrap that they've been pushing the last decade or so that makes them unelectable. So they have to rig elections.
Require IDs at the elections, and we might never lose another election again. But so every day I grow more closer to being able to willing to vote to end the filibuster. And truly, I know other people say this, but I truly am praying about it every day and looking for some divine guidance here, because this is it's a big deal. It protects the minority.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you right now, you're good about another week and you're going to be on board because they're not going to do anything. And the Democrats like the government closed. And right now they're making no overtures to open it and get people paid.
Right. So they'll end the filibuster. They'll go nuclear. And they are the ones that even just 2 years ago, they all but two voted to end it then. So my fear is that they'll, regardless of what we do today, when they're in power next, is that they'll vote to end the filibuster as well. And by the way, most of those things you're describing were done.
I know they will, because they tried to put Donald Trump in jail.
A reconciliation anyway with the filibuster in place. So I'm all with you. I would prefer to keep it. But again, things are just a little different today than they were 2 weeks ago.
And you don't have that right now.
Need 51 votes. And I don't think half of us are there yet. If I had to vote today, I would vote no. Okay. If I had to do it right.
Well, you're going to end up having to vote for it. That's all there is to it, because this is your Democrat Party. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. Limited energy. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't.
All right, let's see who's streaming. Apologize, I get a little busy here. I get a little easy distracted. Monique, Vermont, what up? BF0549. In the filibuster, it'll stop the cheat. Yeah, they got to do it. They've got to do it. They've got to get the elections. They've got to do voter ID. They got to get rid of mail-in ballots. Otherwise, screw it. If they don't get this done, they're gonna F the country. F the country. The number of votes is inflated so high it's getting Citarelli keeps getting more votes than the last cycle, but keeps losing because of an astronomical increase for the Democrat when they've never been more unpopular in an off year. Yeah, I think there was bullcrap going on in the election, in the New Jersey election. Citarelli had the momentum going in. He did. And Donald Trump has the momentum on the economy, and everybody knows it. The Democrat Party, they move on. They're like the aliens from Independence Day. They devour a civilization, then they move on to create more havoc. That's what they're doing right now. Last week it was Donald Trump's tearing down the White House. This week Donald Trump lost the midterm election and he's the most unpopular president. It's bullcrap. It's all bullcrap. Here we go.
County.
All right, hold on. What do we got here? Hold on one second. I got to come up here with it. I got to talk about something next here. Glenn Beck. Trump bears Oron.
Going to work this time. Did you see his victory speech? It's literally never worked. Yeah, I thought it was a very angry speech. Certainly angry toward me, and I think he should be.
It's the Rob Carson Show. Last night, Donald Trump talked to Brett Baer about Zoran Mamdani.
Going to work this time.
Did you see his victory speech?
It's literally never worked. Yeah, I thought it was a very angry speech.
It was.
Certainly angry toward me, and I think he should be very nice to me. You know, I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him.
Yeah.
So he's off to a bad start.
At one point he says, turn the volume up.
So hear me,
Yeah.
President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
Yeah, he was all nice and everything, and then he got the votes, and then he showed who he really is, and he quoted communists and Islamists.
How do you respond to that? Does that affect anything you're going to do?
It's a very dangerous statement for him to make,
It
actually.
is, yeah.
And, you know, you talk about danger. I think it's a very dangerous statement for him to make. He has to be a little bit respectful of Washington.
Yeah.
Because if he's not, he doesn't have a chance of succeeding.
Yeah, and I would do everything I can to end him because he's a danger. This is Donald Trump's official response online to Zoran Mamdani yesterday.
My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God.
I know.
So with American pride swelling in our hearts and American courage stirring in our souls, I say these words to you tonight. We will make America great again.
Yeah, you know what? New York's mayoral election is a fart in the wind, but it has turned the Democrat Party majorly leftward, and this will make them less popular. Don't be fooled, and don't be panicked. I think it's hilarious, to be quite honest. And very shortly, I'm going to share some audio from Bernie Sanders, because Bernie is such a decrepit old fart that he couldn't make it happen. But now he's going to hang his hat on this guy to create his communist dream in America. Hey, it's the one time a year that Birch Gold gives you away a free gold with every qualifying purchase until Black Friday. When you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA sheltered IRA in gold, Birch will send you free gold to your house. What? For every $20,000 purchase, they're going to send you some free gold. Gold has started this year around $2,600 an ounce by October. $4,000 an ounce. Global uncertainty. Central banks investing in gold, pulling away from the dollar. Gold thrives in times of uncertainty, and things have been a little uncertain, haven't they? Diversify your savings. Birch Gold can help you out. Plus, through November 30th, get free gold with a qualifying purchase. There's nothing better than free. It's like free pizza at work, right? It's always better when it's free at work. It's not as good at home. And when you go to Costco and the sample lady gives you the free hot dog, it's better there. It's never going to be better when you get it home because free. Because free is one of my favorite things. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for free info kit on gold. But the opportunity for free gold with purchase ends November the 30th. Okay, so don't wait. Text Rob to 989898 for full details. Now, you may recall I put 2 and 2 together a couple weeks ago with Zoran Mamdani and how the radical imams could still support him when he's so pro-LGBTQIA+. And now it's becoming very obvious to everyone that he used the idiots of the left to get him elected, and now he's going to show his true colors, and it's very dangerous for the people of New York. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
Carson Show.
Speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas. Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses. Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. This city is your city, and this democracy is yours too.
Yeah, honestly, you're such a moron, to be quite honest. There's always been those nationalities in New York City, and they've always been doing those things. It's nothing new, sunshine. It's nothing new, you idiot. He acts like everything is new, like, oh my God, America's a melting pot. Holy crap. You moron. I hate to tell you this, moron. 3 generations ago, there was the same damn thing. Except for now, you're suddenly thinking it's the first time ever. People have been of mixed nationalities in this country, making this country great for centuries, you fool. Just because you've discovered it in your naivete does not mean that somehow things are different now. The only difference is the people you just mentioned used to just be called Americans. They used to just, not Yemeni, not Somali, not all of this crap. It was Americans. You came here from wherever. You're proud of that heritage, but you're even more proud to be an American. That's the thing that sucks about this guy. He's such a moron. Here is Greg Kelly last night. Greg Kelly was so good last night. Greg Kelly lives in New York. His dad, is police commissioner. He has got deep roots, and he is just a sage. This is Greg Kelly with just some brilliant comments, and nothing like, I don't know, it's like a Walter Cronkite, just a man who recognizes what a tool Zoran is.
He is naive, he is foolish, and he's not at all savvy. This guy is not a New Yorker. Watch.
I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
What the hell? Really? Really? We don't need your fluff. We don't need this nonsense. I don't need your bumper stickers to get inspired.
For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands.
No one has ever said that.
No, nobody's ever said that at all. It's an absolute bunch of bull crap. It's a bunch of stinking bull crap. It's a lie. Oh, I love this. Hold on. He talked about hard-working people here. This is funny. So this is kind of I grew up on a farm, right? Okay, so people on farms have been working with calloused hands for centuries. Okay, and Zoran has never done anything in his damn life. His hands are as soft as a baby's bottom, for God's sake. But listen to him. Listen to him read from a script like he knows what it's like for people who really work.
Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor. Palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars.
I have a feeling one of your palms is calloused.
Knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater.
Oh, none of the people in your audience does any of that. They're all a bunch of children, for God's sake. They're all a bunch of soy boys and insane young women and middle-aged Karens who've never done a damn thing. They don't have a callus on their hands, for God's sake. Maybe on your heel because of your heels. And I'm talking about some of the guys in the Democrat Party. I mean, honestly, so laughable. Like he gives a rat's behind. Like he can even relate. Nobody in his office works as a longshoreman. Nobody is a high altitude welder. You're out of your mind, honestly. Just a bunch of pap, absolute nonsensical pap. And I'm going to share this coming up. I told you the reason why he's able to glad hand these radical Muslim imams while being so pro-LGBTQIA+ is because he's lying to the useful idiots of the left to get elected. That's why he shifted from being so sweet and kind and smiley during his election to quoting radical imams and communists and yelling during his speech. No doubt about it whatsoever. And I came up with the expression homeboys, Hebrews, and hillbillies because I said that sooner or later somebody's going to have to go in and end this spread of radical Islam. And radical Islam thinks that it has claimed another city, but I got to tell you, we're on to it. Let's go to Mark in Baltimore. He is a Jewish man. He's a little concerned about Zoran Mamdani, and I don't blame him. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show.
Yes, good afternoon, Shalom. By the way, I want to wish you all your audience members a meaningful Veterans Day holiday observance next Tuesday, November 11th. We need to remember who we're fighting for here in this country and what we have done. I'm very concerned because, the fallout has already started. The fire chief in New York City had already resigned. Yes. People are taking family members out of public schools. I'm going to tell you, over here in Baltimore, we're trying to make a welcome mat for all kinds of people that will be fleeing New York shortly. Someone told me that Wall Street, or the main headquarters of Wall Street, may be moving out, maybe even to Texas. Who knows?
You know what? I hope that everything falls apart. I hope that I just heard a report from a Palm Beach realtor this morning. I'm going to share the audio very shortly. She can't keep up. She had been sitting on properties for months. Now she can't keep up with the showings. People want to get the hell out. I don't blame them. And I'm going to tell you, I can't believe anyone, any productive human being, let alone a Jew, would want to live in New York City. Go ahead.
Oy vey. And let me just tell you, I was talking to somebody last night. Oh, they're not going to leave because they've been well established there. Well, think of the Dearborn, Michigan, and Paris branch. You know what a no-go zone is?
Yeah.
Speaking of establishments?
Yeah.
That's under Sharia law. I think you're best at explaining it. It is not very pleasant.
No.
Because they don't want anybody, and we're Jews, and you all Christians are considered infidels. So it's a very sad day. I just want to wish you all shalom, and I'm hoping that things can return back to normal one of these days up in New York and elsewhere. I do want to wish you all a happy belated Jewish New Year, 5786. I hope it's a sweet year for all, but this is really a fly in the ointment, as we say. So I just wish you all shalom and keep up the good work.
You too, brother.
Thank you so much.
You too, brother. Listen, I'm going to fight a good fight for the Jewish people. I guess I'm a Christian Zionist. I found out the other day from Tucker Carlson I'm a Christian Zionist. Because I support Israel. I'm a Christian Zionist. What the hell? When the hell did that come around? I'm a Christian Zionist. So stupid. Let me see. I got some other stuff I want to play from this idiot. Here is Zoran. Used to be all kind and smiley, and that fake friggin' smile and greasy hair and all that. But then he got all sorts of mean the other night.
We will usher in a generation of change.
Really?
And if we embrace this brave new course...
It's not a brave new course. It's old. It's been tried in Cuba.
Rather than fleeing from it...
Oh, please.
We can respond to oligarchy and authoritarian...
Oligarchy, yeah. Well, the oligarchs are supporting you campaign, you ass. You got millions of dollars from George Soros.
With the strength it fears, not the appeasement it craves.
Bumper sticker.
If anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him.
How was it betrayed? He's brought $18 trillion in new investment in the country, bringing back manufacturing, close the southern border.
It is the city that gave rise to him. This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop...
You are a fart in the wind.
...the next one.
Yeah.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching...
Yes, I'm sure he was. No, he wasn't.
I have 4 words for you.
What's that?
Turn the volume up.
Another bumper sticker.
We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city
pay for it.
have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants.
Yeah, and of course, rebuilding the New York skyline and reinventing the city.
We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed...
Really? He's not corrupt at all. He got a rectal probe every year from the IRS.
Billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax...
I just use the tax loopholes to save money on taxes, you idiot.
Breaks.
Oh.
I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. Yeah. Its tone was sharp.
Because he got elected, you idiot. You freaking moron. How long have you been on the planet, Van Jones? I mean, you're an avowed communist, for God's sake. If anybody should see this, it's you. Here's some more from Greg Kelly. I love Greg Kelly. He just picked apart Mamdani last night.
Very strange. It's immature, and it's the real him. Yeah. There are big drawbacks to having a 34-year-old who's never had a job as the mayor of the largest city, and we're seeing it right now. Oh, the dynasty, political dynasty, he's also not up on current events.
Yeah, he's talking about how there was a Cuomo dynasty. There was no Cuomo dynasty.
Mario Cuomo has been out of power. Well, quite frankly, he died about 8 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
He left the governorship in 1994. His son left 3 years ago in disgrace. This is not a dynasty that toppled. But those kids who you surround yourself with, whatever this guy says, they're just going to eat it up.
That's like the Biden dynasty. The Biden family dynasty. Oh, my God. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Drugs transported by boat, Venezuela. You best take note. Cartels, they're having fits 'cause they're men. They were blown to bits. The drug boat, it now resides on the ocean floor. The drug boat, Marco says we're gonna take out more. Yes, their lives are in danger if they take another chance. 'Cause drugs, we won't tolerate. Shut it down before it's too late. No drugs. A boat that was filled with drugs.
It sucks to be you, you Democrats, you. Inflation is down, Schumer's a clown, he'll get his due. No Kings was a flop, but you will not stop. I'll bring the world peace, more wars I will cease, we'll come out on top. Drug boats we took out, we ended all doubt. The border is closed, Letitia is hosed, while Democrats pout. The new ballroom will be complete, while Democrats will suffer defeat. It sucks to be you, miserable you. It sucks to be you.
Now a new NBC News poll shows the Democratic Party has reached an all-time low in popularity.
Why and all you want about the National Guard, Antifa pals, we will bombard. It sucks to be you, you know that it's true. It sucks to be you. Donald Trump's election.
No! Why?
It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
It is the Rob Carson Show, and I was right, I think, and I know I am actually right about the reason why Zoran Mamdani is loved by the radical Islamists, even though he's pro-LGBTQIA+. He used the left to get elected, and now he's going to take the gloves off against the Jews and others because he's a radical Islamist first. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. I got this note this morning on my phone. Your payment method has expired. Please update your payment details. If you run out of cloud space, consider upgrading your storage plan. Here's the problem. There's no logo on this. There's no company associated with this. It just says, best regards, customer service team. Yeah, it's a phishing expedition. They're trying to take my credit card information because, I like to have good credit and everything, and I don't want to miss my bills, and they're expecting me to freak out and go, oh, my God, well, I'm sorry about that. Here's my credit card number, my expiration date, and my little code on the back of my card. Not going to happen, jerky. Fortunately, I have that on this PC. I don't have it on the phone yet. But cybercrime spikes during the holidays, especially around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Falling victim to cybercrime is the last thing that anyone needs, especially during the holidays. That's why it's important to have WebRoot. Protect your family and yourself from cybercrime this holiday season. 60% off WebRoot Total Protection. WebRoot.com/Carson. You'll get 60% off. Webroot.com/Carson. There you go. Phishing scams, fake shipping notifications, fake e-commerce sites and social media stores. All of them are out to get after you. And you're, listen, I understand what it's like to be easily distracted, in case you didn't understand that. Yeah, just a little. Is that a squirrel? Yeah. So real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats like malware, ransomware, and phishing are all taken care of by WebRoot. There you go. Family protection includes kids, students, seniors, up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs due to identity theft, and customers love WebRoot. They've been protecting customers for 25 years with a 90% retention rate, no annoying pop-ups, 24/7 U.S.-based customer support for identity theft restoration. What are you waiting for? It's a really big holiday for the cyber thieves. Go to webroot.com/Carson for 60% off. That's webroot.com/Carson for 60% off. Here is Glenn Beck. We're talking about Linda Sarsour is a radical Islamist. She discovered Zohran Dami about 7 years ago and began grooming him.
They've ever had socialism. Want to know where the majority of the money came from?
Yeah, who donated all the money to Zohran Mamdani's campaign?
For Mamdani? Here's Linda Sarsour with the answer.
Right now, I'm a little more quiet because I'm on the quiet side of this race, but I'm going to tell you that once November 4th comes around, I will tell the story. The story is not just, that it's random that Zohran ascended to this place. It is our Muslim American communities. And I'll also say that it's Muslim money. The PACs that have supported Zohran, or a particular PAC that has supported Zohran, is probably over 80% of Muslim American donors in this country. High net donors, grassroots donors. And I want to make the point that the Unity and Justice Fund PAC, which is the CARE Super PAC, was the largest institutional donor to the pro-Zohran PAC in New York.
Yeah. And money came from Muslim Brotherhood, all sorts of places to get Zohran Mamdani elected. Because you see, Zohran Mamdani is a radical Islamist first. He's a radical Islamist first. And where else is radical Islam? Where else was radical Islam used the left to propel them into power and then stabbed them in the back?
Now, this coincides with the Islamist cooperation with the radical left and groups like the Democratic Socialists of America. Never before in this country have Marxists and Islamists joined forces as they are right now.
Why?
During the Iranian Revolution, Marxists teamed up with Khomeini. After the fall of the Shah in 1979, it took 2 years for the love affair to end. Which one ate the other one? The Islamists saw the leftists as useful idiots. And then the slaughter commenced.
There you go. Yeah, that's what happens when radical Islam moves in. They use you, they get your votes or whatever, and then they move into power. Then they murder you.
Hundreds of left-wing activists, as they began to see that they were being used, died in the streets during protests. The rest were just rounded up and thrown into prison.
There you go.
Within just a few months, 3,000 to 5,000.
They don't like them LGBTQIA plus people.
Leftists were put to death inside of Khomeini's prisons.
Wow.
Who would have seen that coming,
I
too?
don't know.
In 1988, 30,000 Marxists were suspected of being killed from executions, torture, and in the streets. I have been trying to warn the world and you stupid leftists what was coming for you and then for us ever since the Arab Spring.
Yeah, but see, we're not going to let that happen. Are we, homeboys, hillbillies, and Hebrews? Because we're the best armed intellectually, physically population in the entire friggin' world, and radical Islam hasn't gone up against us. And I'm going to tell you what, it ain't going to go very far. This is Zuhdi Jasser last night on Rob Finnerty's show talking about the Red-Green Alliance in New York and how Zohran Mamdani and the radical Islamists used the young, stupid leftists to get into office.
Saying as a devout Muslim that Islam is not compatible with democracy in its form today. It still is based in a theory.
We are a Christian nation that is tolerant of other faiths. We are not an Islamic nation. If we become an Islamic nation, then there's no tolerance of other faiths. That's the way it always works.
Democratic movement. It still is anti-Western. And this red-green axis, which is about the Russia, China's, Venezuela's of the world working with the Irans, Qatar, and Turkeys of the world, just like AOC works with Ilhan Omar, they are folks that hate the West, hate freedom and liberty, and Islamism is about theocracy. So I've testified to Congress. Peter King was a good friend, had me testify in 2011. We protested the Ground Zero Mosque and said they might have a right to do, but it's the wrong thing.
Yeah, because it was meant to send a signal to the Muslim world. Look, we're here.
To do, and we've testified saying, you know what? It's not just about Muslim radicalization. The Democratic Party is going to be radicalized, and this is what we've seen with Obama 1.0, 2.0, and now 3.0 with Mamdani. The call from Obama to Mamdani highlights this red-green axis.
I believe Barack Obama said the Muslim call to prayer was the most beautiful sound in the world.
Islam has not had an American revolution against theocracy. That's what has to happen.
Yeah, here is Ben Shapiro on CNN last night. And, of course, CNN, they're all about, it's Islamophobia, and there's nothing really going on here. Bullcrap.
They do extremely well with picking a boogeyman out, and that is what they're doing. I mean, we cannot fall for that. I mean, they're simply...
Usually boogeymen don't kill 3,000 people by flying planes into buildings.
Otherizing Mamdani. They're saying whatever they want to say.
And it's not working, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is, actually.
Like, the more they attack him, the more...
It's like... So then the question becomes why they're focusing on Mamdani. And I think the answer is because of Mamdani's own words. If you watched his victory speech last night, he used one line in particular that sort of leapt out and left off the screen when he said that there is literally no problem. This was his line. There is no problem too big for government to solve and no matter too small for government to care about. I mean, that's what totalitarians would say. Is that they're literally, and then the two people he quoted verbatim, aside from Mario Cuomo, which was I thought a delightful little slap at Andrew. I thought it was a little nasty. But he quotes Eugene V. Debs, who is a socialist, and then he quotes Nehru, another socialist, and then he says, "I am a socialist" from the stage. So saying that President Trump is somehow going overboard when he has campaigned as this, when the Democratic Socialists of America, which is a base from which he springs and to whom he answers in many ways, is openly socialist.
But he's not talking about it. There's no doubt about it, and I didn't expect it would happen this soon, but the Democrat Party is dead. It is. And Bernie Sanders, he's already saying that Zohran Mamdani is the future of the Democrat Party. He could never be president, thank God, because he was foreign born. I don't think he can lie about his birth certificate. I mean, whatever, anyway. But he can't. But they're saying it. Guys, I didn't think it would happen this quickly, but it is. Daniel Lipman, a reporter for the Politico, covering the White House in D.C., joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Hey, guys, it's Carson. Forget fresh olive oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted T.J. Farms' fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his fresh-pressed olive oil club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to getfreshrobcarson.com. That's getfreshrobcarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. Getfreshrobcarson.com.
Rent-free, in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent-free, I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
Trump and Elon, on each other's neck they have their heel on. Wish that they would make up. How I hate to see them break up. Try to understand it. So much confusion. Does this mean their partnership has come to a conclusion? Trump and Musk, they've been feuding from the dawn till dusk. Wish this could be mended. I'd hate to see, don't want to see, I'd hate to see their friendship ended.
If you're illegal alien in the United States, this message is for you. You cannot hide from ICE.
Avoiding ICE ain't easy. Illegals are so sleazy. Tom Homan set them straight. To ICE should be reporting. You should be self-deporting. Leaving will be your fate. Back home is where you're headed. That's safe to say, and you won't make a stop along the way. No longer can you stay here. You've seen your final day here, 'cause you've committed crime.
Every mayor of the city of New York.
That, of course, is Bernie Sanders saying that Zoran Mamdani is the leader of the Democrat Party. And many of the people are saying, and including AOC, are saying that basically the old guard Democrats are going the wayside as the party lurches left toward communism and socialism. Joining us on the Newsmax Hotline, Daniel Lipman, reporter for Politico, covering the White House and Washington, D.C. Daniel, how you been, man?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, excellent. What do you think about Zoran Mamdani's victory, and is the party going to officially lurch into socialism, disregarding its traditional Democrat past?
Well, if they actually want to win elections, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And so if you look at Mamdani, he was at 1% in the polls at the start of this year, and then he won a pretty landslide victory. And so you have to kind of give your hat off to him, at least in terms of his political acumen. If he read the city, he read how New York had a really tough time with housing prices, with affordability.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Democrats are going to run socialists for 2028. You're not going to have Gavin Newsom call himself a socialist, or basically any other candidate except maybe AOC one day if she runs for president.
But you understand where AOC is literally basically saying Chuck Schumer is over. She's going to primary him, I guess. And so do you suppose, how's this going to divide the Democrat Party, and do you suppose splitting that coalition is going to impact their electability?
Well, they don't want to get labeled as a socialist party. And so most Americans are capitalists. We live in the greatest country on earth. You don't want to institute government-run grocery stores everywhere if you want to actually continue to have a good economy. And so Democrats have to be wary of any move to the left. But there's a way to do that where you embrace populism and embrace kind of building things and lowering the price of goods and services and bringing a affordable life for most middle-class people who are not really facing that very easily these days without sliding into socialism. So that's why you look at Mikey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger. Those are moderate Democrats, people who served in the Navy, the CIA. No one can call them admirers of the Soviet Union. And they did very well on Tuesday as well. And so it's kind of a big tent party these days in the Democratic field.
But I think a lot of the younger people in the party, socialism, as with listen, it's always this way. Young people who've had less time on the planet and haven't been educated by history, because, history is obviously the best learning tool, is actually seeing it. They would lean into socialism and communism because they always say, oh, it didn't work the last time because it wasn't done right. And I'm just kind of curious as to what this is going to mean. I was speaking to Brianna Lyman yesterday, and she was very worried about younger people under 30 in the Democrat Party leaning into socialism. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a power struggle there between people, the two people you mentioned, and this new direction. And Bernie Sanders is leaning into it. So, if you look at the Republican Party divided between MAGA voters and traditional Republicans, don't you suppose that same kind of dynamic is happening in the Democrat Party?
I think it is. We've seen Bernie Sanders run for president multiple times, Elizabeth Warren running for president. They haven't gone anywhere in terms of actually winning a nomination.
Yeah.
And so if you look at the primary voters in the Democratic Party, people in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, they are not the Mamdani type voters most of the time. And so they went with a safe choice for Joe Biden in 2020. They probably would have not actually picked Harris if there had been an open primary.
Yes.
They would have maybe picked someone more electable.
Yeah.
And so I do think that there's going to be a lot of hunger on the left in 2028 to actually win the election, not just throw it away because they want to reverse everything Trump has done. And so that's kind of one reason that they would not slide to socialism.
Yeah. What do you think about New York? And a lot of people are saying they're going to leave. A lot of people are resigning. I believe one of the fire commissioners is resigning. He's Jewish. If you were living in New York, would you want to continue living in New York, particularly if you were Jewish?
Well, I'm kind of glad I live in the D.C. area. And so, for a lot of reasons, even when Eric Adams has been mayor, it has not always been streets paved with gold in New York.
Yes.
And so there's been lots of crime.
Yes.
But this does remind me of people who have said, oh, we're going to leave New York. Well, New York is the business capital of the world. That's not going to change under Mamdani. He doesn't want a failing city. And so it's kind of like people who say, oh, I'm going to leave the country because Trump was elected. Not not many people went to Canada or New Zealand, and so they mostly want to stick to America.
Well, it's a little easier to move state to state, and a lot of people, a lot of people are going to leave New York. Let me ask you, what did you think about Tuesday? Do you think it's a referendum on Trump's policies?
I think it was partly, but it was also New York, New Jersey, Virginia.
Yeah.
Those are not red states. Those are not purple states. But if you look at Georgia, Mississippi, there was Democratic wins way lower down the ballot. So those are, flashing red warning signs for Republicans next year.
What do you think about Nancy Pelosi retiring? I mean, obviously she's 85 years old, for God's sake. What do you think about her and her legacy?
I think you have to look at how she was this governing partner for Barack Obama, and that she became this figure of the Democratic Party where she was able to get health care passed, get lots of climate change legislation passed with Joe Biden. But these people sometimes stay too long where there's not a lot of if you're 85 years old, that you should be probably on the tennis court or the golf course.
Or being wheeled around.
Yeah, exactly. So, you don't want to have a situation where there's people like the Democratic representative from D.C. who... Eleanor Holmes Norton or Dianne Feinstein dying in office. Yeah, you don't want that. Daniel, I appreciate you, man. I know you're busy today. I do appreciate you taking the time. Where can people find your work, brother? You can go on Politico.com and search for my name and subscribe to my articles.
And also on X at D. Lipman. Thanks for talking to me, man. We'll talk again soon, Daniel. Nice to hear from you. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. A little early.
Hey, guys, it's Carson for WebRoot Total Protection. I am constantly being phished on my PC and my
this time he was.
cell phone as well. Every day there seems to be a new way to trick you, from tech scams to data breaches. It's hard to keep up. That's why you need WebRoot Total Protection. From lightning-fast antivirus to identity theft protection with dark web monitoring, secure VPN.
Hey, guys, it's Carson for Get Fresh Olive Oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful, fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted T.J. Farms' fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
Business, so don't delay. Call today.
Retirement, it's almost here. Are you ready? Join Mike DePaula and Sarah Flora of Flora and DePaula Wealth Partners for SWAT Retirement Strategy.
City. I've been in Texas for a year, and I have to be there for Mamdani. I just do. I know a lot of people will be surprised by this, but like, dude, I'm so sick of living in Texas where I don't even pay state income tax. Ridiculous. Think about that.
I know.
So I have to like find things to do with my money. Like this is my third coffee of the day. I'm going to buy a paddleboard. I'm hiking, new shoes. And it's like, I'm just done with it. I have to give up 52% of my income. I have a car, which is like, it's so toxic cis white male of me. You know what I mean? And they're charging money to take buses here. Charging money. So what do homeless people do if they want to go on there and sleep and stab somebody? They have to go and fundraise to get on a bus? Like, what the fuck? So I'm just going to get back there and get back to the Gays for Palestine protests. And like, 100%. Nobody has assaulted me today. I'm sitting here, literally, I got cash hanging out of my pockets. No one's called me a racist, toxic, cis white male. What am I doing?
It is bizarre. It's Tyler Fisher. Haven't heard from him in a while. I didn't know what was going on. He had a controversy. He was at Fox News, and he offered to buy a cup of coffee for a woman, and I don't know, he ended up getting yelled at or whatever. I didn't even know what happened, but anyway, he's a funny guy. He's a really funny guy, and another funny guy I know is Jim Gossett, and he is singing as the President of the United States about Zoran Mamdani, the commie.
New Yorkers made a big mistake. Private property Zoran wants to take.
Yeah, because he's a commie.
He's a fraud, a total Marxist. He's a man without a soul. Of all possessions, the things that you own, he wants control.
Yeah, he does.
Total control. Commie, chameleon. He'll take your business right away from you.
Come on.
That's why millions plan to leave New York. They fear the evil that Mamdani can do.
Yep.
Commie, chameleon. Anti-Semite. Oh, how he loves Hamas.
There you go.
Commie, chameleon. Mamdani's gains, they will be the residents' loss.
There you go. If you want to help out Jim Gossett, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Florida sheriff invites New Yorkers looking to flee the city after Zoran Mamdani's mayoral election. If you're a New York City resident or a great NYPD officer unhappy with the results of tonight's mayoral election, let me be the first to invite you into the welcoming arms of Volusia County. Yeah, just keep your politics up there. This is a Palm Beach realtor, and business has been kind of flat. They tried to get rid of that hellhole, that $18 million stain down there called Mar-a-Lago. I mean, what a piece of crap that place is. It's only worth $18 million. But she says the phone's been ringing off the hook.
Okay, y'all, I'm not going to lie. I did not think exactly this was going to happen. I thought this guy was going to win in New York City. I thought that our market was going to pick up. But I didn't think it was going to happen like the next morning. I'm like, okay, my sellers like settle down. I don't think they're just going to come, racing down and, from New York City. But it's, I don't know. I don't even know what time it is, 3 or 4 o'clock. I've literally been on the phone since 7 a.m., nonstop back-to-back calls. I had showings scheduled for listings that haven't had showings in a month. And I was wrong because it literally turned on like a light bulb, literally blew off like a firecracker, and the post-socialist New York City political market is here on our shores.
Wow, that is amazing. I thought about moving to to Florida after the divorce. I did. I really did. I thought, hey, I'll move down to Newsmax headquarters. They got several headquarters. One of them is down there in near Mar-a-Lago, a couple miles there. I had dinner there at Mar-a-Lago with the great Chris Ruddy. And I thought about that, and I said, no, because Donald Trump ain't going to be spending any time down there. Hollywood is right here, baby. That's why I'm here. In lovely Washington, D.C., we are swamp adjacent. Literally, I'm a stone's throw from the Capitol, if you can throw a stone about 4 miles. I am. I'm right there. But, yeah, a lot of people are leaving the Big Apple. They're going to leave the Big Apple. I've got a bunch of stories here. Of course, they're talking about free buses, city-owned grocery stores. That always fails. Eliminating bus fares would strip billions in revenue and degrade service quality. It's not going to get better. Free childcare up to age 5. Nothing is ever free. Costs would be shifted to taxpayers. $30 minimum wage, which is ridiculous. But here is Zoran Mamdani. He says, you know what? Hey, here's the deal. $30 minimum wage is no big deal for small businesses because they'll just do it a little bit slower.
Take the $30 minimum wage to the guy.
Instead of, I don't know, like maybe letting the market bear it and you offering people whatever wage you can afford if they decide to work for you, then they will. But no, $30.
Who owns the dry cleaner, the woman who owns the nail or hair salon, all these small businesses that you've grown up around and see on your block all the time say, I can't afford to pay people $30.
This would be phased in over a longer period of time for small businesses, as is typically done when you're increasing the minimum wage. If we don't want to pay people that, we're going to lose New Yorkers.
Oh, yeah. Well, honestly, if you can't live in New York, you can't afford to live in New York, move the frick out of New York. Oh, that's really cold and cruel. Listen, I don't live in New York. I wouldn't live in New York. You know why? Because I couldn't afford to live in New York. Okay, I was offered a job years and years ago, like in 1995. $100,000 if you come and live in New York. That was 1995. I said, no. And it was expensive then. It's incredibly stupid expensive now. And guess what? If you're poor, might want to consider another place to live. A lot of people who live in trailer parks in Iowa. And the reason why they live in trailer parks in Iowa is because they can afford a trailer park in Iowa. They can't afford a New York condo that is rent controlled. And why should it be rent controlled if you can't afford to live there? Just because you live in New York, Democrats have made it too expensive. It is prohibitively expensive to live in New York for a number of reasons. A lot of it has to do with taxation. A lot of it has to do with regulation, among other things. That's why it's impossible to live in New York, and he's about to make it more impossible. He says he's going to take care of your rent. What's going to happen if you have an apartment complex and they say you can only raise the rent so much? It's going to fall into disrepair because if you try to upgrade everything, you're going to lose your butt. And then what's going to happen? Well, they're going to sweep it and they're going to buy it and they're going to use it into public housing. Well, God knows how good public housing is. No, it's always been a bleep show. Even in Old Town Alexandria, right across the river from the White House, they have colonial public housing. And all the houses here are colonial as well. And the only way you can tell the difference between the colonial housing and the public housing is the housing, the colonial public housing has a couch in the backyard and a clothesline. And so there's that. So, it's a nice pipe dream. 1 million New Yorkers are preparing to flee New York, and according to the survey, according to those who would definitely leave, another 25% or 2.12 million people would consider it out of the city's 8.5 million people. So, good time to be a realtor in Florida or Texas or Tennessee. Just leave your politics in New York. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. All righty. Who's talking? Look at all that Merlin Wizard and Forged by the Maelstrom. That's a pretty cool. I think you mean you slurp olive oil like a smoothie. I do. I eat olive oil and everything. It's awesome. Forged by the Maelstrom, Ace, AOC, Omar, Mamdani are perfect examples of the current generations to include my own millennials of emotional-driven ideologies, no grounding in fact. Of course, that's what young people are, dude. That's what young people are. I voted for, I hate to tell you this, in 1988, I voted for Dukakis. Gah! You know why? Because I was an idiot. Deplorable dinosaur. What's up, America Marcy? What's going on? I'm off the nap. Need some well wishes. Okay, I'll do that. Not sure what that means. Let's see. Who else is watching over here? Robert Myers. Good to see you. And Monique Vermont and Grandma 59. Rob, I'm Grandma D. 59 is B-Day. Okay, cool. You're younger than me. And I'm not a grandfather, thank you. Don't want to be a grandfather anytime soon. Because I'm pretty hot right now, you know. I could be a hot grandpa. I could be a hot G-paw. Yeah. Woo! Looking over on Facebook here. See if I can get load Facebook here. Hold on. Hold on. Scrolling down. I got windows open. I got more windows open. My feet are cold. I got so many windows open on my computer, my feet are cold. So, well, I can't get to it right now. I apologize. But anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. Hope you're enjoying the show. I like the Kami Camellia song. That was pretty fun, wasn't it? Nancy Pelosi's retired. Oh, my God. Oh, here we are. A lot of people watching on the Facebook. Hello. All right, here we go.
Rob, turn your mic down just a little.
It's the Rob Carson Show. In Minneapolis, and I lived in Minneapolis for 5 years. Moved there in 1994, left in 99. It was getting to be a little nuts then. But I was single. I married my wife in Minneapolis, and it was a lot of fun. We'd go downtown. I used to do a stand-up comedy down at Acme Comedy Club and hang out with some folks there, and it was pretty safe. Now it's just bat guano crazy. I went up there and I auditioned at a radio station about 8 years ago, KCMO. They drove me out of town. They said, radical, right-winger, blah, 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 and I'm really glad I didn't take that job. Oh, my God, I couldn't believe it. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, who is the Justin Trudeau of Minneapolis, won his third term as mayor, even though he's not a good mayor, because they also had a crap sandwich up there. Now, he ran toward the center because his opponent, the guy who kidnapped Captain Phillips, Senator Omar Fateh, his strongest challenger, he was down with a city income tax and rent control. So Jacob Frey ran to the center and ended up winning, which is good. Frey vetoed many of the very left of center city council proposals, including carbon emissions, which is stupid because Minneapolis is a pinprick on the globe, and controlling carbon in Minneapolis would do absolutely nothing. It'd just be stupid. But that's what they do. They also wanted to do a minimum pay rates for the Uber and Lyft drivers. No, you charge for the ride up front, and you tell people, here's how much it's going to cost you, you see, you morons. Morons like Zoran. This is kind of funny. This is Zoran Mamdani. Until this week, listen to how nice he was.
Every take is going to be... I speak English and I speak Hindi, but as you can see, I will try very hard to learn enough of a language to make a video. And there's a reason some of those videos start in the daytime and end in the night, and there's a reason some of those cuts are very, very quick.
So you're like sort of like a Scandinavian type of politician, yeah. I would say, right? Okay.
A little more brown, but yes.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to having those meetings, having those sit-downs to make clear why this vision would benefit all.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, on the election night, he was completely different.
After all, the conventional wisdom would tell you that I am far from the perfect candidate. I am young, despite my best efforts to grow older. I am Muslim.
Muslim. Used to be Muslim.
I am a democratic socialist.
Yeah. Which is a communist, by the way. It is. They only put Democrat in the front of it to distract you. The Democrat Socialists of America hate the Democrat Party and want to get rid of it. That's the truth, Democrats. And if you paid attention, and you don't generally, and you're usually pretty ignorant, and a lot of you are young with no life experience, you're going to find out pretty soon. You're going to find out how bad things can get. Coming up, we've got FAA cutting thousands of flights. We got a woman who chased a dude out of the locker room, and she ended up losing her gym membership. That's all coming up in the third hour of the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
love it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
There you go. That is another spontaneous protest yesterday in Washington, D.C., and it just so happens that a whole bunch of women showed up dressing like handmaidens. Must have been an accident because, it's spontaneous. Certainly not bought and paid for. Here we go, another temper tantrum from the left because they can't take the Donald Trump one. They had a distraction this week. They're claiming that, Donald Trump, everybody hates his economy, even though last week they were less concerned. They were half as much concerned about the economy as they were when Donald Trump was when Joe Biden was the president. Wages have gone up. Egg prices have come down 185%. Donald Trump, he apparently going to give you some low-priced Ozempic. Ozempic, it's a shot I guess you give yourself in the stomach and it deflates you like a balloon. Is that what it is? No, I'm not going to do that. I've been yo-yo dieting my entire life. I'm so good at it. I'm doing tricks now. I'm doing like walk the dog. I mean, I'm worse than Oprah. As far as the yo-yo diet. No, I'm not worse than Oprah. Oprah's like, what the hell? I mean, you ever seen a balloon when you when you blow it up and then you let it go and then it gets all, kind of weird and, boy, I want to see her in a two-piece. Anyway, so I guess Ozempic works pretty well. There's are there side effects? I hear bad things about it. You get weird side effects, Ozempic breath or something. I don't even know what it is. But I choose to just suffer and go to the gym and eat less. It's weird because it also helps you lose weight. And there's nothing much less satisfying than salad. I'm just going to tell you, salad is one of the least satisfying things you can have. No matter what you put on it. You can put, like if you really love grilled salmon, it's not going to be as good when you put it on a salad. This is going to be a salad with salmon. They were a salad sitting next to some nice mashed potatoes, whole different ballgame. Put it on a salad, it's just part of the salad. It sucks. Salad sucks the life out of everyone. But that's what I do. I usually just eat less and exercise. But I guess it's going to be cheaper now to do the Ozempic. And the people who have been in charge of the CDC and the FDA and all that have made us morbidly obese. I mean, like morbidly obese. I remember when I was a kid, they used to have jeans for kids who were chubby, and they were called Husky. And my mom got me Husky jeans. That's always good. It's not bad enough that I was bullied for being the biggest kid ever in class, and I was 5'8" and 170 pounds in 6th grade, and 6'1" and 245 in 8th grade. Now I had to wear jeans that said Husky on the back. I mean, you can just put a sign that says, "Hey, fat butt." Oh yeah. So anyway. Your emotional baggage is arriving on carousels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually, I'm actually, I would like to be thinner, but I've been working out now for 4 years. And I figure if you don't like the way I look, kiss my butt. Don't even care. Although I am able to wear some cool clothes. I'm able to wear cool clothes these days. Makes you feel kind of good. When I return home to an empty apartment and watch television and fall asleep crying. Anyway, let's talk about... I don't. I'm actually enjoying my life. It's kind of fun. I want to talk about this woman and I am just glad to see this outraged woman kicked out as her Gold's Gym membership terminated when she goes into the locker room and there's a man standing there. And the man apparently was putting some lip gloss on and standing there, and he said to her, "Straight women like D-word for Richard, and they probably looking at me more than you." That's what the man in the bathroom said to her. And this woman, who's Tish Hyman is her name, reacted to this jackweed in this fashion. She still ended up getting her membership removed.
How are you? Did you tell me or not that women like to see? Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. Yeah. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that.
There's going to have to be a point where, like, for instance, if I were a dad of a young girl and my daughter was in the locker room and a man went in there, I would drag that man out by his hair. Sorry, not going to happen. And honestly, I'm about done with this nonsense. How about you?
And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman, and I have every right to not want a man.
It's an outrage. It is an outrage. And if you think voting for Abigail Spamberger it makes Virginians want to turn back the clock or take the L out of it, you're wrong.
In the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
Not okay.
Don't gym. Men. Grown men with big in the women's locker room.
Yep.
And that's why I'm getting kicked out.
Sure that's not Oprah?
And I want to make sure the girls.
Whoopi?
No. Everybody saw that man in the fucking locker room. No one's saying shit. And I'm fucking done with it.
It is ridiculous. It is utterly, utterly ridiculous that we've gone through this. And we're not going back. It is absurd. It is such an absurd spectacle. And I've said this as it was happening in real time. What an absurd spectacle the left has perpetrated on women. On women. They've made men feel ashamed to be men, call our masculinity toxic. If masculinity is toxic, then probably don't want to stand too close to me because you're going to get all sorts of toxified. Because I do like being a masculine man. Even though I made muffins for everybody at work yesterday. I did. They were pear and banana muffins and quite delicious. A little vanilla, some raw sugar. Not too sweet, not too sweet. And then they made women feel like, young women, you're experiencing depression and isolation because of COVID. Do you ever think that maybe with that combined with the body changes you're going through that you might actually be a boy? How freaking stupid, ridiculous, awful, terrible, pathetic, social contagion, nonsense. Same kind of stuff that young idiots, particularly young women in New York, are doing when they're fawning all over Zohran Mamdani, 86% of them voting for Zohran Mamdani. It's the same nonsense. It's the same taking advantage of the mental state and the social contagion of young women particularly. I mean, I had some social contagion when I was in high school. I learned how to moonwalk when Michael Jackson's Thriller came out. Sure, that's social contagion, but I didn't try to cut my penis off. Here's the, remember when, having a tranny job was your car? You get about 100,000 miles on it, and you're like, oh, it's making a little bit of noise. I better get my tranny replaced. It's completely different now. Here is the guy who was booted from the locker room acting like he's the victim.
That's 2 rooms right there. You're not going to put a
clearly hasn't had a voicectomy yet.
Trans woman with a trans man just because we're trans. That seems like
now you're a guy in a dress.
A new envelope of discrimination.
No, it's not at all. The discrimination is that a man with a penis is in a locker room with a bunch of little girls. We always call that, like, I don't know, perversion, maybe being a child predator.
But
not if I wear a dress.
It's just like, I feel like this had to happen.
No, it didn't. You didn't have to have your rear end in the girls' locker room.
For people to learn about trans.
Yeah, we already know about it. You guys are kind of nuts.
It's a thing. We're here.
Yeah.
We're going anywhere. We've been here for thousands of years.
Thousands of years. Okay.
There's like 10 species of animals on Earth that do this too. Just by the way.
I know. I mean, have you ever seen those penguins when they get all dressed up and they do their pride parade? It is so fantastic. Stop it.
Everybody. And
elephants wearing dresses. It's so weird.
So, but about the bathroom, am I entitled to it? I know that I'm a woman.
Maybe you do, but no, nobody else does. No.
Should they have built another one?
You got an Audi, not an Innie. That's first sign. Usually, I'll just say, like I used to tell my kids when they were toddlers. If you have a pee-pee, you're a boy. If you have a nina, you're a girl.
To necessitate building this room, people would have to have the level of comfortability within themselves.
Yeah, they got to have a level of comfortability. Oh, my God. Did he have a brain replacement too? Let's hear that again.
This room people would have to have the level of comfortability within them.
You got to have a level of comfortability if you're going to see a man with a penis in the locker room and say it's a girl.
Himself that
you got to be comfortable with that.
Not everyone possesses this much.
I swear to God.
Self-feminine.
I've never seen a girl's penis before.
In power, it just it doesn't happen.
Girl penis right here.
Not in this
boy penis.
patriarchal system of which we've been living for so long.
I'm a woman with a penis.
Okay, all right.
Girl penis. It's totally different. It's dressed up different. It's honestly, wow. Are we about done with this crap? I mean, really, are we about done with this crap? By the way, yeah, Tish Hyben, she got booted. She lost her Gold's Gym membership. By the way, I haven't seen anybody try this in the locker room. Why is it that the women never want to go into the guys' locker room? Why isn't it the women who say they're dudes don't want to get naked with guys in the shower? It's kind of weird that way. And also, there aren't a whole lot of trans NFL players either. It's like it's almost a one-way street. Let's take a and there's no going back. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. This is Rob Carson Show. Joining us at the bottom of the hour is Kaitlin Bennett. She's awesome. She's, I like her woman on the street stuff. She goes out and she interviews lefties and ends up making them like fools. I like her because a lot of the times the people that you see in these videos get very confrontational, use the F-bomb and everything, and she tries to keep it down here, and she's just very smart. She's amazing, and I'm going to be featuring her this weekend. One of her stories will be on my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World, which we just wrapped up. I wrapped up taping yesterday. It's a political comedy show. If you haven't seen it, a lot of people have. And it is a half hour long, hopefully longer sooner, we'll see. But it is me gathering stories and writing around them and then stopping the videotape at my own discretion and improvising. And I run my own video. It's weird. Most TV personalities don't run their own video because it requires a good deal of mental and physical dexterity. And, I'm not one for attention spans, in case you didn't notice, so it can be challenging. But I think you'll enjoy the show. This weekend is very funny. We got a couple new features on the show. One of them is What You Missed Last Week. And then another one is, even though I don't drink, Carson's Wine Cellar. We go into Carson's Wine Cellar, WHINE, and this week it features Michelle Obama complaining about, her life. It's so terrible. What is she, yesterday she said something about being beautiful or whatever. I mean, she's so full of just so full of crap, to be quite honest. Let me see if I can find this. I had this ready to go, and then I got distracted. Because, I kind of do that every once in a while. Michelle Obama, she was on talking about how beautiful, how hard it is for her to be so hot and everything. No, that's not it. That's it. I'll have to find it. Here it is. Here she is talking about... this is so unbelievable because she really, whiffs on several of these characteristics.
So I wanted to take advantage of the fact that as the First Lady, yes, you can be smart and educated and beautiful and sexy and interesting and all those things. And yet,
I really don't see a lot of interesting there. The other ones are a little, depending on your type. If you like a woman who can bench press more than... But anyway, yeah, okay, sure.
Yes, you can be a black woman, a tall 5'11" black woman.
Yeah, you can be a tall 5'11" black woman. Like, that has to do with anything. Honestly, do you have to wear that... For God's sake, is it hard when you put on an outfit in the morning to get it over the chip on your shoulder? Yeah, let's listen to that laundry list of things here.
So I wanted to take advantage of the fact that as the First Lady, yes, you can be smart and educated and beautiful and sexy and interesting and all those things. And yes, you can be a black woman, a tall 5'11" black woman.
Oh, okay, sure, whatever. And as a radio host, I can be middle-aged, divorced, hanging in a room by myself. Yeah. 6'1" white guy. It's so full of crap. She hasn't worked a day in her damn life, honestly. The girl has not worked a day in her life, and she is so privileged. She's got such a chip on her shoulder. It's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I've been hanging on to this audio for a couple days here because I have mentioned to you that there are some similarities between what's going on in America's Democrat-run cities, keeping ICE out, keeping illegals in, keeping the people in the inner cities uneducated, aggrieved, and impoverished, and dependent. And the Democrat Party's been doing that forever. And Victor Davis Hanson, who I hope to get on the show here soon, was talking about and I said we've been in a de facto civil war for a while, right? You've heard me say that. We're in a de facto civil war. The Democrat Party is using words of war to inspire people to commit acts of war. They're using words like Marxist, fascist particularly. It's shown up on shell casings in a school shooting in Minneapolis and Charlie Kirk's murder. And then they also have paid soldiers for hire, Antifa, and a myriad of groups who are willing to be the soldiers on the street. And if you don't believe me, look at the damage and body count they've already amassed, particularly in the summer of 2020. So don't tell me that there's not a frickin' civil war going on. My God. shut up. But anyway, there's plausible deniability. Oh, we didn't say anything. I don't know. Just because of shell casings with our name, with the words we've been using on it and all that, right? And they tried to kill Donald Trump a couple times because we, told him that, maybe he'd be better off dead. But anyway, no, it wasn't that. But here is Victor Davis Hanson talking about the Neo-Confederacy. Which is something I have alluded to the last few months.
We saw it under the Eisenhower administration when Little Rock refused to follow a court order to integrate its school system. The governor, Orville Faubus, defied the federal government. President Eisenhower had to nationalize the Arkansas National Guard and force.
Yeah, so what Donald Trump is doing with ICE is, and the National Guard in cities that have fallen into chaos is not unprecedented.
Possibly stop him. The same thing happened in Mississippi under Governor Ross Barnett, 1961, 1963.
I told you J.B. Titzler was just like, standing in the schoolhouse doors.
George Wallace stood in the
like George Wallace.
doorway of the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and said, I will not allow federal troops to desegregate this university, and they forced him to do that.
Very similar dynamic going on with Democrats trying to keep people in the dark in America's inner cities about what they are missing, about keeping them impoverished and uneducated in poor schools.
So they are the successors to Jefferson Davis.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Calhoun, the segregationist states' rightists that tried to nullify the federal government. Contrary to what the left says, the statistics show that about 80% or more of the people that ICE is arresting either have criminal records, they're part of the 500,000 that the Biden administration let in, or they have pre-existing deportation orders they've ignored. Our own state, local, and city officials are...
But the Democrats need the bodies and the votes. But here is where he thinks it's going. I'm leaving this up to federal authorities to handle. But I know Democrats, and they will bring the temperature up. They will keep doing it as long as Donald Trump is president, and it could get ugly.
Once you nullify federal law, and once you glorify violence, and by the way, the left has glorified almost every major left-wing assassin, whether it was Mr. Hodgkinson that tried to take out the House leadership, or Tyler Robinson who took out Charlie Kirk, or Luigi Mangione who killed the CEO of United Health, or Mr. Crooks and Mr. Ruth who tried to kill Donald Trump on 2 occasions. When you have glorification of that type of violence and political assassination, we know where it's going to lead. It leads from Bleeding, Kansas to Harpers Ferry to Fort Sumner. And they're playing with fire, and it's very dangerous for the Republic. And it's time for the left to stop.
Yeah, well, it's not going to stop, but the positive is the military is on the side of Donald Trump. That's all there is to it. He saved them, and recruitment is way up. They are not prepared to deal with the most well-armed intellectually and physically people in the world. But keep kicking that pit bull, see where it gets you. Kaitlin Clark, joins us next. Don't go anywhere. Kaitlin Bennett. Drew up like I always called her Kaitlin Clark. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code Newsmax, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. That's shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Again, use the code Newsmax at checkout. That's beam.com/Newsmax and use code word Newsmax for up to 40% off.
WAPM.com.
He wants to live up to his sign, the free speech sign. Let them speak. Let them speak, sir. Sir, he could beat her with the logic. He could beat her with his logic. Come on, he looks like a smart man. He's Asian. He's an Asian man. He's smarter than her. Sir, let him speak. Please, sir. Let him speak.
Can I speak to this gentleman? Why are you doing that? It says honk for free speech, by the way. And he's literally drowning out free speech and dialogue right now with his cowbell over there.
Yeah, you know, we need more cowbell. Kaitlin Bennett, the founder of Liberty Hangout, once again out confronting idiotic leftists. Kaitlin, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me back.
So where were you here? Talking to this man, it says greed over people, and the other says honk if you whatever, and they just ringing a cowbell would not answer any of your questions. Where were you?
Yeah, that was in St. Pete. They have these little protests all around, all across the United States every single weekend.
Yes.
This one, they go out every single Monday for 1 hour to fight fascism. They're very dedicated.
Well, you know, it's that or bingo. Usually bingo or mahjong tournaments don't start till later in the day. But
right, exactly.
Unbelievable. Yeah, by the way, I'm featuring one of your videos on my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World, the one where you approached the orange-faced guy with the crown and confronted him over how if Donald Trump is a king, what about Kamala Harris? You didn't vote, and he immediately cut you off.
Yes, he was very upset by that. Thank you for featuring on your show. I was so glad to be able to bring that up to somebody, and he gave me the reaction that I would totally expect.
Yeah, and today they're marching in Washington, D.C., and they're dressed up like the Handmaid's Tale and all that. I mean, it is utterly, utterly ridiculous. It's got to get very tiring after a while. Let me ask you this, Kaitlin, because I have a theory on the election on Tuesday. Last week, half as many people as a year earlier when Joe Biden was the president were concerned about the economy. They were protesting the White House being torn down. And then Tuesday rolls around, and suddenly it's a referendum on Trump's economy, even though 2 weeks ago, Democrats are polling at the lowest they've ever polled. So what are your thoughts on the Tuesday election, and is it a referendum on Donald Trump and his economy or whatnot?
So I've seen a lot of people try to give their takes, and I think only a few people have gotten it right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of them, by the way. So I think what it is that the left is really good at hating. They are driven by hatred.
Yes.
And so they saw voting blue down the ballot and getting out to vote for blue, for blue people in blue states as a way to spite Trump. Because if you look at the exit polling, especially in New York City, which we all know Mamdani was going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, Cuomo wasn't a good candidate. Like putting Kamala Harris up there. But their number one issue was taxes. But then they voted for Mamdani. Yeah. And I think these people really just voted to spite Donald Trump. They saw it as a way to protest, which, I mean, voting can be a way to protest. I think it's just pure hatred. They hate Donald Trump that much that they were willing to just go to the ballot to spite him. And for the midterms, Republicans have to be able to get out with love of their country and love for Donald Trump and love for Republicans to fight the hatred that is going to be coming to the polls next year.
Well, next year is going to be very patriotic. Next year is the 250th anniversary of the country, and they're going to drive patriotism home. I hopefully am going to be at the MMA fight on the White House lawn. I may be serving drinks, but I'm going to be there, Kaitlin. I'm going to be there. What do you think about Mamdani's election? I think it's about, he lied. He got the useful idiots of the left to vote for him. I think he is more a radical Islamist than anything. This is why these radical imams embrace him, even though he's pro-LGBTQIA+, because he's saying what he had to do to get the idiots to vote for him, but there's a much darker plan for New York City. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm very concerned for my friends who live there, and I've even asked them, like, what do you think? And she's a woman, the person I talked to, and she said she's specifically worried about her as a woman with the crime. He wants to decriminalize violent crime.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe that the violent crime exists unless it's like physically murdering somebody with your hands and stuff. It's crazy, the things that this guy believes. But I don't think most people who voted for him ever listened to him speak.
Of course.
I don't think so. And it does look good, all free buses, free food, we're going to freeze your rent. Those things sound great for someone who has no idea how economics works. It's just basic economics. Nothing is free, and someone will pay for it.
Yes.
And guess what? The quality of those things, they're going to go down. The buses are going to be even more terrible than what they are now. The subway, you think it's bad now? Wait until it's free.
Yeah.
We'll see what you think about all the homeless people sleeping and peeing more. And,
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, the only cool thing is the sample ladies at Costco. You get a little slice of pizza, a little square of pizza, but you end up buying a $12 cauliflower crust pizza. That's what I do every time. It always tastes better when it's free, doesn't it, Kaitlin? It always tastes better when it's free. Let me ask you about Nancy Pelosi's retirement. She's the most powerful woman in the history of American politics. She's also a wretched, awful human being with a very dark heart. What are your thoughts on Nancy Pelosi finally giving up the ghost at 85 years old?
Yeah, I think she should have done it a long time ago. I never understand when women... maybe this is me coming from my traditional Catholic thinking, but I never understand when women dedicate so much of their lives to politics like that. You must not have anything going for you in any other way for your life that you dedicate that much to politics. It's not a space primarily for women. It shouldn't be, and it's upsetting that, the way that some left-wing men have created issues in this country that have caused women like me to be outspoken, but I wish it weren't like that. But no, 85-year-old, what is she going to do for the rest of her life? Now she's going to take a break and then be a grandmother or
it's ridiculous.
It's just
dude, if I had 1/10, for 1 year, if I had one, couple $1 million contract, 1 year with Newsmax, I would retire the next year, and I'm not close to retirement yet. I would take that money and run. She's worth a couple $100 million. What are you going to do with it the last couple of years of your life? You got to get out there and enjoy.
It's
I don't know what.
Squirrels with an acorn. They're like, give me all. I don't have enough. I'm burying this money. What is she going to do with it?
I don't understand it.
She's probably doing shady stuff.
I know. She's got. Well, listen. You got to feed those blue flying monkeys. It's not cheap, Kaitlin. It is not cheap, and they're going to have to put them up for adoption. So they're asking you donate some money to a blue flying monkey adoption agency, and then you might consider fostering one. Kaitlin. As always, great to have you on again. You are on the show this weekend, and you just do great work, girl. You just do great work. You got to make it up to D.C., some of these insane protests up here. My God in heaven. Where can people find all your work, Kaitlin Bennett?
Liberty Hangout on YouTube is the best place to find all my content.
And you got 1 million followers now. Look at you. All right. Talk to you soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. nice to have a president with cojones. Here is Donald Trump talking to the Nigerian government about the slaughter of Christians, which they're denying and everybody knows is happening.
Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands and thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I am hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. That's a legal definition. When the Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 3,100 versus 4,476 worldwide. What horrible numbers. Something has to be done.
Yeah.
I am asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and to report back to me. And I mean, like, immediately.
Yeah.
The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. It's not only Nigeria.
Why don't you start kicking radical Islam's butt here in the States? I want to see that next.
All over.
Yeah.
We stand ready, willing, and able to
Dearbornistan in New York.
Save our great Christian population around the world. This is not going to happen. The killing of Christians is not going to happen.
Yeah, boy, he's a much worse president than Joe Biden, who said of Nigeria, that's what he said about Nigeria before he fell asleep, put a lid on it, and then took the weekend off. That's your Joe Biden. That's the difference. It's nice to have a president with balls. You know, and this is why I don't believe the Tuesday was a referendum on Trump, blah, 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 when literally a week ago, the concern about the economy was half as much as it was when Joe Biden was the president. And the Democrat Party had the lowest approval ratings ever. So please, are there some messaging that the president could do better? Yeah. But I think I am 100% satisfied with what this president is doing. You're a Trump sycophant. No, well, of course I am. But I also know what he's doing. And he's kicking butt. Compared to Joe Biden, my God, are you out of your mind? And I can tell because it's funny. So I live, Northern Virginia. And I was, the other night I was out about King Street, which is in Old Town Alexandria. And everybody here works for the government, right? And I'm talking to this one woman, and she says, oh, yeah, I used to work for USAID, but I got laid off. I'm like, oh, okay. What do you do for a living? I'm a conservative talk show host. But anyway, and then there was another one I was talking to, and where she worked. Oh, Voice of America. She worked for Voice of America. And by the way, they just cut another program. There was a program being broadcast to Turkey, and it was anti-Erdogan. And Carrie Lake I talked to her. I met her. I met her the other night. I met her a couple times. And they're getting around a lot of bull crap with Voice of America. Voice of America used to be like the Voice of Freedom. Now it just broadcasts propaganda, leftist propaganda around the world. And anyway, but back to jobs and whatnot. People suffered a great deal during Joe Biden's economy. People worked 2 or 3 jobs. I know women who worked to death at the grocery store near my house. 3 women worked themselves to death, all in their 70s and 80s. Where's Mildred today? Oh, she died. Okay. Well, I talked to Mildred yesterday. I said, why are you working, Mildred? Well, it's because I can't afford to get groceries anymore. Joe Biden's the president and all that. But now I know things are good. Donald Trump said it early. Bunch of new statistics about the economy. Coal miners are making $5,000 more per year. Blue collar workers making like $2,000 more per year. And you can feel it. But the Democrat Party needs something to distract. Last week it was, the White House, tearing down the White House, it's history. And then you ask them, really, what was in that wing of the White House? I don't know, but it was historic. And then the week before that, it was no kings. And then today they got a bunch of women dressed up like the Handmaid's Tale. Thank God my God, when I was married, I had to watch a lot of stuff, HGTV, which was watchable. I had to watch Sex and the City. And it was okay for a while. And then it got a little, you have to be a little much. I'll just put it that way. But I don't believe all the bullcrap they're trying to spew on Tuesday, saying that it was a referendum. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was a crappy candidate in Virginia. The woman running for governor there was not a good candidate. She was a picked by a rhino who just happens to be the governor. I've never been a big fan of the governor of the state of Virginia. I never wanted him to run president because he reminds me of Mitt Romney or George Bush. And so I was never a big fan, but he handpicked her, and she became the candidate. She's anti-Trump, and she was a terrible candidate. I thought John Reed was a good lieutenant governor candidate. He busted his butt, and unfortunately, I think a lot of it had to do with her. A lot of it had to do with the shutdown. A lot of it, the Democrats, of course, extending the shutdown, and the fact that Virginia is run by Fairfax and Loudoun counties. So all of those things happened there, but I don't believe that it was a referendum on the Trump economy or Democrats all of a sudden being popular when last week they were the most popular they've ever been, and nobody cared about the Trump economy because it was so awesome. So there. Ta-da! Gold rose above the key $4,000 per ounce level on Thursday. This, according to Newsmax, supported by a retreat in the dollar. Like, me when I jump in cold water. While a prolonged U.S. government shutdown raised worries over the economic outlook, spot gold was up 0.8% at $4,015 per ounce. The Supreme Court skepticism on tariffs and the slightly weakened dollar are likely supporting gold, according to USB analyst Giovanni Stovano. And I always look to him because he knows a lot about gold. What I'm trying to say is, gold is strong. It has had an amazing year. It started out the beginning of the year at about $2,400 an ounce. It's over $4,000 now. While it's still affordable, why don't you consider buying gold from Birch Gold? And with every $20,000 of gold purchased and invested in, they'll send you free gold. Yeah, free gold. It's only going until the end of the month, though. All right? Gold thrives in times of uncertainty, and certainly these are those. Just text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility and for an info kit on gold. But your opportunity for free gold with purchase ends November 30th, so don't wait. Text Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold for full details. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Hello. Who's watching? A lot of new names on the Pidia 14 is watching on the YouTube. Deplorable Dinosaur as well, and Merlin Wizard 1000. Cool names. Dookie Bear. GJ Gary. There you go. GJ Gary 1. New person over there on the Rumbly Roof. Thank you so much for watching. Grandma Dad 59, still there. Maybe falling asleep because you're your grandma and all that. Obrameroid Ointment, always good to see you there. For the pain and itching of Barack Obama and his gorgeous wife, who could bench press more than me, Dale Arsenault, Gail King, all of you guys, Yvonne McNaughton, good riddance. To the drunk Pelosi. She does act either that or partial slipping. I'm thinking it's mostly drunk. I'm thinking she hits the box Chardonnay pretty heavily. Pretty heavily. All right, I got to do one more break here. What am I going to do? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Ted Cruz. All roads. I'll do this. I've got something fun for you. Just watching the social media, watching you guys, staying very busy, rebuilding my studio. Wait till you see the studio when I get done. Oh my God. It's going to look so good. We're going to do some really cool stuff here. All right, here we go.
On Talk Radio 680 WCVM.
About 350 here.
There it is. Show me how to live, Audio Slave. Yeah. I'll be listening to that when I work out today. It's workout day. I saw a guy the other day. He was 70 years old, a decade older than me. And he was looking good, man. I was like, dang, you're doing good, man. And then I told him my expression, which is, it's better to be the oldest guy in the gym than the youngest guy in the funeral home. And it is. I'm going to go in there. Yeah, and I've been doing these supplements. I'm doing, what the hell is it? glucosamine, chondroitin, collagen, and what's the other one? Oh, I'm drawing a blank on it. There's one that's just miraculous. I'll have to think about it for a second. Nancy Pelosi's retiring. I want to play this from Jim Gossett about San Fran and Ann on the Rob Carson Show.
She isn't running, and we're so grateful. That woman was oh so hateful. She's a national disgrace.
She's a hag, a happy American grandma.
That's Nancy with a Botox face.
What the flying monkeys do without her?
Her star was rapidly fading. She's as corrupt as can be.
Worth a couple $100 million on a public salary.
She made millions from insider trading.
Because she was super corrupt.
Where is the SEC? Nancy Pelosi was a lousy speaker.
Trying to tip your bartenders and waitresses. Thanks for coming out tonight.
She tried to make our country weaker.
I'll be here all week.
I'm glad they will replace
that face.
Miss Nancy.
She looks surprised all the time.
The Botox face.
Yeah. By the way, if you want to help out Jim Gossett, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Turmeric. That's the supplement. Holy crap. Turmeric is a game changer. I'm just going to tell you. It is unbelievable. It's an anti-inflammatory, and it is every day. I take my supplements, and turmeric is a game changer. It is. I've been doing glucosamine, chondroitin, and collagen forever. My joints don't make any noise, believe it or not, despite my age. Like here right now, I'm flexing my fingers. They don't crack. There's no cracking. There's no crack. Nothing. They're so lubricated. I'm like the Tin Man after get hit by a couple shots of WD-40. But turmeric is, it's working, man. I had my hip. I'm getting the age that things are replaced, and when you go to the dermatologist, things are frozen and burned off. And my hip was bothering me a lot, and my hips don't lie. And I started taking turmeric, and boom, gone. It's pretty remarkable. It worked for me anyway. I don't know. I always like to wrap up the show with some supplement advice. There you go. Guys, have a glorious day. God bless you. America's founded Donald Trump, his glorious presidency as he changes the world and makes it better. And until tomorrow, which by the grace of God is finally Friday, don't catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
All right, Rob, thanks. Have a good night.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.